Good afternoon, sir. My name is Prakash. I am the Associate Director for Digital Strategies Private Limited, based out of Bangalore. At the outset, I thank Control of Certification Authorities, particularly Mr. Arvind Kumar, CCA, then Mr. Ashish Banati, who is the Deputy CCA, and also Dr. Pandyan. They encouraged us, they supported us, they reposed confidence in digital strategies, and that is the reason we had to apply and go for an empanelment with Webtrust, CPA Canada. And with the stringent qualification criteria, we were able to meet all the requirement of Webtrust Canada, and we are empaneled, and we have the licensed Webtrust practitioners we have trained who are capable of conducting audit. As a first step, after getting this Webtrust empanelment, we thought of starting one first initial audit, and we selected Webtrust Technologies Private Limited, based out of Bombay, Prabhadevi. There, the certifying authorities approved by CCA under the banner we signed. So last week we conducted Webtrust audit for CCA for a brief period, and still it is in progress, still going on. I just wanted to share my experience on the first Webtrust audit what we conducted for vSign. In fact, we are the empaneled CCA auditors for several years. We have been conducting several CCA audit, that is CA audit, for various certification authorities, and we are pioneers and we have experience in conducting certification authority audit as per the CCA framework and CCA guidelines. But this is a first opportunity we got for conducting a audit against the Webtrust framework and Webtrust controls. And I just wanted to share with you brief my experience and my opinion about Webtrust audit, what we conducted for Verasis. See, these are basically the audit definitions. What is Webtrust audit definitions? Audit conducted by an independent authority, independent Webtrust accredited auditors, to ensure compliance with all the Webtrust and security accounting, audit trail, confidentiality, business and legal requirements. These are the definitions of what a Webtrust audit means. Some more definitions: Webtrust audit covers the validation processes that are followed to obtain identity, as well as the large amount of technical security configuration and management. Webtrust review includes both privacy, security, but also includes confidentiality, transaction integrity, business practices, disclosures. This has been very well explained by the previous speakers. They are more detailed, what all it coverages. It also has got a lot of references to our information security management system, ISO 27001. Also about the physical security of physical controls, environmental controls, data security, data privacy. Those things are already covered. So this is not something different than what is the objective of CCA. Basically, the objective of CCA to conduct any kind of a certification authority audits are also in line with Webtrust requirement. So there are different types of audit which has been defined in ISAE 3000 and International Standard on Assurance Engagements for Webtrust audit. So there are alternate attestation engagement, and also another is the direct engagement. Attestation engagement, as Mr. Previous Speaker Subhash Rao explained, as a Webtrust auditor, we have to just verify the report of a previous Webtrust audit and concur or give our opinion or say attestation that this is fine only, this is accurate, this is fine. But we have to have our own opinion based on the audit report submitted by the previous auditor. This is the attestation audit. As far as the direct engagement is concerned, we have to directly go detail assessment we have to conduct for a certification authority. Then we have to form an opinion, and based on the opinion, we have to present it to the Webtrust, what all it complies, what all it not complying. So basically, Webtrust has got a reporting format. They have decided they have prescribed reporting formats. So normally the audit coverage is Webtrust program for certification authorities helps to ensure that CA is properly following the certification practice statement and policy statement. Properly verifying organizations and properly protecting its certificate keys. The audit specially verifies that a particular certificate authority discloses its key and certificate, lifecycle management, business and information privacy practice provides such services in accordance with the disclosed practices. These are basically the audit points, audit coverage, what we have to cover, and what is expected by Webtrust. CA maintains effective controls to provide reasonable assurance. Subscriber information is properly authenticated. The integrity of keys and certificates it manages are established and protected. Subscriber relying party information is restricted to authorized individuals only, and it is protected. So continuity of key certificates, lifecycle management operation is maintained properly. CA systems developed and maintains operations are properly authorized as per the expectations and requirement of AICPA and CSA. Next one. Again, the proper procedures are followed for public infrastructure, cryptography, online trust and e-commerce transactions, confidentiality, authenticity, integrity, and non-repudiation are followed, and complying to PK and SSL certificate security requirements. Customer concerns about the previous one. Customer concerns about privacy security, business practices addressed and signifies CA meets independent standards for the issuing and managing the certificate. Basically, this is the scope of work, and there are out of scope of work for Verasys, the vSign technologies. We have selected Verasys technology for certification authority audit as per Webtrust framework, and the scope was digital signature and also the eSign. Out of scope is we have not taken any SSL certification. In the due course, they are going for SSL certification. So when the Verasys goes for SSL certification, we wanted to do the SSL certification audit also as per Webtrust controls and framework. And code signing, we have defined scope for Verasys, and for the Verasys, the first audit what we conducted against Webtrust, the scope decided was for digital signatures and also eSign. The rest of the areas we have not covered, and due course I think we are going to cover SSL certification audit also sometime in the month of January, February, when they go for SSL certification. Correct. No, we are not. I'm just talking about for Verasys what we have done. What we have done. eSign. Because this entire Webtrust audit covers all these areas also. It is not just the digital signature and also the eSign, but also it covers SSL certificate plus domain validation. Only first two. Yes. For the certification for accreditation purpose. Yes. All of this. See, out of scope is also covered for a digital area. When we got accredited, we got impaneled. Verasys. Next one. Audit steps. Webtrust audit not prescriptive because Webtrust as CPA Canada doesn't give a ready-made checklist for us. And we have to define all this, or we have to draft, or we have to design the checklist based on the scope given to us. And for that, a lot of materials are available, reference materials are available in Webtrust. A lot of guidance documents are available. So the challenging part or time-consuming part is not the audit, but creation of or preparation of some of the checklist, which is very exhaustive in nature. I will show you one or two samples checklist. Even the previous speaker also showed some sample of some of the checklists what we have generated or what we have prepared. So those checklists are very detailed in nature because it is not the checklist what we are going to submit to the Webtrust. We have to form an opinion, and to form an opinion, that is a concrete opinion, we have to give it to the Webtrust and recommend a particular organization for a certification, Webtrust seal. In that course, we cannot leave any chances and we cannot miss out any of the control requirements. Further, the study of all these guidance documentations which are related to the scope, because there are different guidance documents available for SSL, for MARC, VMARC, then for organization, domain, etc. So we have to focus on what is applicable to your digital signature, what is applicable for eSign or for timestamping, etc. We have to study a lot of documentations, guidance documentations. Based on that, prepare some of the checklists which are customized to the particular scope and also particular customer. So against those checklists we have to audit, go to the minute details, macro details, then verify all those compliance requirements, and we have to, of course the guidelines are also, we have to meet for the CA browser forum, but also for the Webtrust guidelines. Webtrust framework guidelines plus also CA browser forum guidelines we have to take into consideration, and before we prepare a checklist for auditing purpose. This is a sample security audit questionnaire. You can see that this was shown earlier by the another speaker also. It is a very detailed information what we have to capture, and yeah, this is another this one. As far as the log is concerned, the CA logs the following security sensitive events. Security sensitive files are records read and written, including the audit log itself, actions taken against the security sensitive data, security profile changes, use of identification and authentication mechanism, both successful and unsuccessfully. So there are very, very minute and macro and micro details which you have to collect at the auditing level, and different audit points we have to generate. We have to find out what are the audit points. Based on all these minute requirements are very detailed requirements which we have to audit. So audit encompasses, what we do is that we just don't depend upon the checklist what we have prepared based on the framework guidelines of Webtrust or the CA browser forum, but also we have to see from the risk assessment point of view. Plus, use of checklist prepared based on scope audit, generalized audit practices guidelines issued by CPA Canada under the Webtrust SEAL program. Webtrust SEAL program for certification authorities, there is one guide which we have to refer to that, and we have to take a lot of points from that. And the baseline requirements issued by CAB forum is also considered. And interview and also with the concerned auditees, IT staff functions, processes, observation, simulation of certain scenarios. Of course, some of the standards which are like ISMS, ISO standards like 27001, 22301, COBIT, cybersecurity, all these things are taken into consideration before we prepare a checklist and conduct an audit. So after completing the audit, this is a seal which has been given by the Webtrust. So the company can, for having demonstrated their meeting to the regulations or the requirement, they can have this seal delivered to them. So audit experience, it was rigorous, tough and challenging. To understand the Webtrust principles basically, because this is the first time we are going through the Webtrust audit. So relate to the controls practiced and already implemented by the CA, but it is doable. It is not that it is not possible, but it is a time consuming, it is a challenge, little bit of we have to really study a lot and refer to the guidelines, then prepare the checklist and conduct an audit. Then understanding various detailed both macro micro level Webtrust security controls requirement, CAB forum baseline requirement, observe, visualize, simulate certain scenarios, look at to data points, correlate the implementing strategies, and look for evidence to complete the audit. Good part is that most of the controls of CC audit checklist relating to DSC, timestamping, or e-sign either map to the Webtrust principles or to the international browser forum controls. Few differences are there which the previous speaker explained, and he also listed out those differences. So the PKI guidelines, just previous. PKI guidelines of CCI like CCI IOG, CCI CP, CCI IVG, TSG, SP, XMLSP, OCSP, SSL, and all infrastructure guidelines of CCA are already embedded in the one or the other controls of standards of the Webtrust. It is not that something completely new or strange. Many of these guidelines issued by CCA is already available in one of the other forum, in one of the controls, either the browser forum or through the Webtrust framework document. So that way, I think it is not completely new or a Greek or Latin kind of a thing. We can always correlate CCA related guidelines with the Webtrust and immediately understand. It is not a Greek and Latin completely. So that one. So audit report format, there is a fixed report format. So we have to, this is prescribed by the Webtrust only, though the checklist is not prescribed, but audit report format is finite and they have defined in what format we have to report. So basically it has got a scope, then certification authority's responsibility, independent accountability responsibility, the inherent limitations, independent accountant's opinion, and other matters. There is some declaration also. So use of the Webtrust seal, audit firms use of the Webtrust. Yes, they are the auditors. They are auditors. So basically they have to assertion. Also there is one auditee assertion is also going to be there. For example, the company which is going to be audited, like Verasys or Technologies, there is a management assertion that what they have followed, is it completely true or fact kind of a thing. So that we have to again give our own opinion based on the management assertion of their operations area. So, previous one. Yeah, I think the next auditing format is an attachment where certificate practice statement and certificate policy versions are in scope are listed out. Then there is an attachment B, list of all CA in scope, root CA, subordinate CA, they are all listed out. And auditee for management assertion is also going to be there. From the top management they have to give what kind of practices they are following as far as their certification authorities are concerned. There is a sample report format. Just to click on that. This is a sample report. Just scroll up. Same kind of a scope. And there is a little bit of difference in the report format. Suppose if you are doing an audit for a certification authorities digital signature or e-sign, the report format is different. If you are doing an audit for SSL, there is a different, or VMark, etc. There are different, little bit different formats are there for each type of audit, what we conduct. Yes, sir. This is the only document. No other audit notes, no other checklist, no program copy, nothing of that, sir. Just we have to submit this. Yeah, there are something findings which are related to that Bugzilla. So it is just a sample report, not related to Verasys audit, because Verasys audit report is incomplete. We just completed last week. There is some more audit to be coverage is to be done. So probably next week we are starting to finish those audit. So audit report of Verasys is not. This is only some sample audit. No, sir. No. No, we have to, all this audit report, we have to publish it. It has to be published in the website. It has to be available, freely available for anybody to download and see. Those kind of, because Oliver, huh? Correct, yes. Yeah. Correct, yes. Yes. This is a sample report, not we didn't find anything on the Bugzilla with Verasys kind of a thing. So,
What is it? Yeah. From globally accepted standards you are referring to, there is a standard ISO 21188.
yeah.
Are you referring to that also?
Yes. I have listed out here.
No, not listed out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.